Oh, hey! Hey! Hey!
You got the dog riled up.
I got the dog excited.
Yeah.
So this is Tuesday, February.
It's February
29th. Just kidding. We are in August.
We've already knocked stuff over here.
Hey guys, we'll be right back. We're gonna start the song over. kidding. Hey, welcome to Topless Toy Talk, episode 53. Today is Tuesday, August 17th, and we are your mustard podcast for the Cybertrend era, and I am your host.
And I'm your better host, and I know today's August 18th, not 17th, but nice try.
Well,
your day
there's
off.
one of us that decided to update the agenda, and there is one of us that decided to not.
Yep,
and I am not gonna name names, but
so with this being the Mustard Podcast, who nominated this?
McDonald's, please sponsor us. Just kidding. Austin Allen. Man, this is off to a bad start. Hold on, we're gonna go back to our song. We'll talk. Just kidding. Just kidding. Today's tagline was brought to you by Austin Allen Hamblin.
Yes.
He does comics and comic books and comic things, and he writes the stuff.
And he's probably the coolest person I know, mostly because he wears overalls.
He's just a guy from a small town, and Sarah's also from a small town, so people from small towns think each other are cool.
Yeah, we do. We got some small town energy going on here.
So if you would like to have your tagline featured in an upcoming episode, pay attention to my stories. I put it up every week.
Yep.
What?
Who do we have in the chat, my dear?
I don't know. Did you look?
I did.
Oh.
And our first one is... You're going to click on it?
I don't know. You going to tell me what to do all night?
Probably, because that's what marriage is. Nice try. Deemer. Yeah, you are early. You were the first comment. What are you doing in here?
D-Dog. We got D-Dog. D-Dog up in the chat. And then the one, the only, our famous...
Boy Prime, sometimes I crave black licorice, and I feel that this confession may cause me to be shunned by society.
I'm going to say two things right now. One, I can't even say the word. I'm going to say three things right now. I can't say black licorice. Second thing, black licorice is disgusting.
That's okay. Third
thing, your appetite for black licorice prompted our question in the chat, which is probably even worse. This is going to be a long show because I'm having problems with words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. I love you anyway. And then we got
the reoccurring
Danny. Hey, Danny. Thanks for joining.
Also, we have the very slow.
It's me. I like old people candy too. While I do love a good Werther's original, and some of those like after dinner mints, Horehound is my favorite. Like it's got to have that nice like sugar coating.
First of all, nobody asked you. Second of all, you should watch your mouth on the internet.
It is a real candy and it's fantastic, and you can get it at Tyson's in a little bag.
What's it called?
Horehound.
Can you spell that?
I spelled it in the chat. HOREHOUND. I looked it up. I googled it.
We're not monetized, but we're definitely not going to get there now.
Well, it's what it's called. I don't make the name.
And we have a semi-new face.
Nathan Drake. Hey. Thanks for joining us from the clock.
Gothic Cowboy.
Yes.
Get it right.
Gothic Cowboy.
That's right.
Yes.
And the greatest.
Hope your mom's doing good. I'm going to check in every day. I'm going to check in every
You're going to have to be like, hey, stop telling.
No, I really am concerned.
I know. I'm just saying, like, when your mom is good, you're going to have to be like, hey, stop checking in.
Yeah. Well, stop
she's
checking
fine.
in.
Be like, shut your mouth. It's like 3 years later, she's still going to be checking on you, your mom.
Oh, well, it's true. We are still doing good. And we also have a former guest here.
But this person has to be announced very specially.
I know.
Deluxe.
You said his name. So thank you, Deluxe, for hopping here in the chat. Deluxe was a former guest and someone we've hung out with a couple times.
Yeah.
Most recently at BotCon, but we also hung out with him a little bit at TFCon, and we're still trying to figure out if we're going to TFCon Orlando. May hang out with him again there too.
No.
Got to figure it out.
I pay Deluxe to say my name.
The Deluxe is fantastic. You should follow him if you're not. Get your priorities straight.
Somebody!
Hey.
New name.
Stanley's Toy Channel. Hey, Stanley.
Do you have a toy channel? We'll have to check that out.
Yes.
So fanboy, you and I have the same reaction to that music. As soon as it starts, I'm just like.
And the thing is we see these comments coming in before the show starts, and then I see people, and then we like lose it here behind the scenes of reactions. All right.
All right, what?
Are you going to click on things? You're just scrolling.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just watching you
we're
scroll
doing
here.
an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Lemon
drops. Oh,
Lemon drops.
lemon drops are good old people candy. I like those.
I effing told you.
Microphone. There we go. We did it.
When I set it up, I said this looks like OP has a big old. Well, okay, we're
And
gonna go
of
silent.
course-
We're gonna go silent for a second because I said it looks like a big old. And now it's a disco ball one.
Yes, it's perfect.
So.
All right, you're staying. Thanks. I appreciate that.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Cuticle, yes. You have a refined palate. I like that.
Are you saying you're? I'm not gonna say.
I have.
There's only so many times before we can talk about horrors before we get blocked, but whatever.
No, I'm talking about horehound.
That's
It
what I'm
is an
saying.
actual. It's a plant.
Yeah.
It is a plant that is turned into a medicinal candy. I don't name the things.
Got the Cowboy, aka Nathan Drake. Where are you from? Like what location?
Well, we know that.
Oh, do we?
He's in a European country. I'm not gonna
that's
say.
right. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Yeah. Here you go. Here's the answer.
It's good walking on her own now. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
No.
Oh, that would be awesome if y'all made it to Orlando. All right, we got to figure it out, Rob.
I've been telling you since day one.
All right, this weekend we're gonna get some tickets. We'll figure it out. All right, Lemonheads. Nobody's into the whorehound. That's fine. All right, judgment.
This might stay up the whole time.
So we have a guest that is backstage. And this guest,
where this kind of went. Real weird.
I'm just gonna transition to this because we're way past the normal 5 minutes, so
Okay.
we'll leave them back there.
Okay.
So this guest is somebody that we hung out with BotCon, who wants to be introduced as his royal high holiness of traumatized children. I mean, that's fantastic. But we're like, I originally locked in with this person because I want to know the personal details about people. I want to know how they tick, like what's going on there. And there was a YouTuber panel at BotCon, and this person was like the first one to answer the question. I forget what the question was. It was like, what's your first like memory of like toys? It was like a very innocuous question, something that somebody should have answered like, oh yeah, my parents got me this toy, like whatever. And this person would go straight into the childhood trauma. And I'm like, I'm in. This is my person. This is fantastic. This is everything that I need to know right now. And what was, in all fairness, a super boring panel. It's probably one of the only reason I stayed, besides Deluxe also being up there.
Yeah.
Because everything else kind of sucked. But no shade. It's just they need to do better next time. Then this person, so they started out with childhood trauma. So we're already there. Then we hung out and met his daughter, who was like one of the coolest people I've ever met. Like, I hope to grow up and be like this person where I could troll my dad. What are you scrolling about?
I'm just waiting for you to finish.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm almost done. But tonight we have the one, we have the only Deemer. Hello.
Hey, everybody. Yeah. Hello. First of all, thank you for having me on your channel. I feel like I made it big. I feel a little overdressed on the wrong half as well. So when you told me it was a body positive kind of stream, I dressed up the wrong half. But anyway, we're here. And thank you for the kind words as well, especially about my daughter. And like I was saying, you have empowered her to troll me endlessly as a result of getting to know one another. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. And I really didn't think you were going to introduce me the same way that I had typed on the form, but all is well. And that is quite funny. Thank you for that.
You provide the information. It's coming out.
Right, it's happening. But Deemer, for those not familiar, who are you? How do you want to? And we like to know really, very specific details, like your mother's maiden name, your grade school, your first car, like, just the essential things.
There's a very public code on the back of like
Right.
most credit cards. It's 3 digits. Like
Right.
those are meant to be shared.
Right. So I try to always have the credit card companies give me 000 because it's usually such an easy thing to remember and hack. I'm still waiting for that 000, by the way. But my first car was a Camaro. So if I never use it for any security features, so I can come out and say that. So 96 Z28 was my first car. So I am Deemer, and I am a techie. That is what I grew up with. That was my profession. It still is my profession. And I am a father, proud father of a troll, and a husband to a beautiful wife. And I collect stuff, a lot of stuff. And there's an art side to me. There's a business side to me. There's the collector side to me. So I have a lot of sides to me. And in my head, I am an amazing singer in the shower and in the car when I'm all alone. So that is a very high level 360 of who I am. So.
I need to upgrade my introduction.
Yes.
To be something way better than I'm just like, hi, I'm Rob.
You
Like-
definitely need to talk about how you do all your all these stretches in the shower. Just like,
Oh yeah, like
that was like
I've been doing stretches in the shower since I was like 20. For, like I got tight muscles. Like it's just got to keep limber. And
it's all that preemie baby stuff.
how else do you tie your shoes like if you can't bend over?
I don't know.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Tying shoes is important.
Yeah, I can't all wear slip-ons. Hey, Austin,
how are you
what
two doing?
We are great on this fantastic Tuesday, and so excited to talk to you.
Honestly, Tuesday is my favorite day of the week.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Right.
I mean, right after Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, Friday is the number one.
It's my favorite weekday because
Yes.
we get to do this and talk to a lot of fun people.
That's cool.
Yes.
That's cool. Respect. Definitely love.
I can
Definitely
just
love
like
what you guys do. So
ignore responsibilities in the evening and be like,
Oh my gosh, you have no
It's like,
responsibilities.
I just got to put up a bunch of lights and then sit in front of a camera for a while and pretend to be entertaining and not talk or not know how to talk.
Because this conversation can go very off the rails very quickly and have very little to do with action figures, we do like to start off with a couple of quick questions.
sure.
And those are,
This is a very standard question. Hey, so when you're growing up, what types of things were you into?
Yes.
Specifically, action figures, toys of that nature. Like, what kind of got you from where you are now to like when you weren't here at this point?
yes.
So okay. Easy for me. It was He-Man, Masters of the Universe was the first, I guess, toys that I ever had. And growing up, I never was allowed toys. So when I was able to finally get one, that was like, to me, my universe. And Cringer is my spirit animal even to this day. So Masters of the Universe was my very first kind of collection. And then by collection, I just mean a couple figures. Then Transformers came out, and that was a mind-altering experience for me because every day, like for young boys, let's call us, we are big into like, trucks and construction, equipment and stuff. And now they turn into these giant robots and they fly and they do things. And, it became this whole really mind-blowing concept to me. And so that's what really started getting me into the collection side of things, if you can call it that, at that young age, because most of kids don't buy their own toys at that age. So, but that is what was the gateway drug, I think, for me, was those two universes growing up. And unlike a lot of the guys in my sphere at the time, G.I. Joe was big for other people, but not so much me personally. I was a Star Wars fan. I still am a Star Wars fan.
I won't hold that against you.
Okay. Of course. And then I think after it was He-Man, Masters of the He-Man Masters Universe, Transformers, and then I got into Marvel. Hulk and Spider-Man were my first two Marvel toys. And I had the coolest Spider-Man because it came with like this string that you can attach at 2 points
Yes.
and it just slide down the string.
Yes.
And I thought that was one of the most amazing things. It was just a piece of string attached to the back of it, but still, at that age, you're like, wow. So,
I also had one of those, and it was fabulous. Like, it was fantastic.
Thank you. But then there was like a big period that I didn't collect anything. And so I didn't really start collecting until my 20s. And I was living alone finally and starting my own life and, adult money, adult job kind of stuff. And so that's when I started getting back into Transformers first. And it was harder in the area I was in to find anything like He-Man related or anything like that because they just kind of vanished from the area that I was in. Mm-hmm. But then, as I started expanding my space, then I started collecting more and more different things. So now I have a lot. Kind of like you guys. So.
Right. It gets really, it spirals. What should be 2 of the detolfs, because that was how he originally positioned it.
Yes.
Is I had this like fantastic yellow pleather couch that I inherited from a relative, and I love that couch, and I wish I still had it. I don't know where it ended up, but I had this pleather yellow couch, and he wanted to get 2 detolfs to put on either side of it. And he's like, "Yeah, I just want to do a small collection." Yeah, the detolfs are definitely in storage. There are no figures in it because it is expanded way beyond these glass cases.
I'm gonna do a quick detolf plug here.
Yeah.
Where if I had this idea, but I don't know what it is or how to do it, but if anybody either wants to steal it or help me bring it into fruition, I'm all on board. But because I had these 2 blank detolfs, I thought, wouldn't it be funny if we did a thing that was like between 2 detolfs?
As like a riff off of Between Two Ferns. And we could never figure that out.
I can't figure out what it is past the name. So we have 2 detolfs. They're waiting to be filled with something. They're waiting for something to go between them. I don't know what else is beyond that.
This could just spiral really, really.
Welcome to Topless Toy Talk.
Yeah. It goes quick. Like, it just out of control.
That's hilarious. So what about you, Sarah? Like, do you collect? Like, what's your kind of thing?
So I like to say I don't.
If you say no, I'm gonna push you right out of that chair.
I like to say I don't collect, but I come from a very long line of hoarders, like hardcore hoarders. And when I say that, I mean like we all, like my whole family, we have nice, clean houses, but I grew up on a farm, and all of my family members are farmers. So when you have a barn, I'm just saying, when you have outdoor space, you can have a nice, like, orderly home that's generally minimalized, but you go out to the barn, it's just like stacked, floor to ceiling. So, my grandfather actually has his own museum, his own personal museum, because he decided that he needed to do that to display his stuff. So, like, when people
the city's museum wasn't good enough.
It was not good enough. He didn't have his name plastered all around it. So, So
in
when
his
people
defense,
are like,
it is actually a very good, like Clinton Engines museum.
He did a nice his own personal museum, and we'll see where that goes. But I know, so I hope not. So what do I collect? Not anything really that important. So I have some Squirtles. For Pokemon. We don't have anything magnetic in the house except for the light fixtures in the kitchen. So this one here got me like magnetic.
She also collects enamel pins.
Yes, but
couldn't
figure out how to display the enamel pins, and so he got me magnetic backings. So our light fixtures in our kitchen are just covered with magnetic like pins with magnetic backings.
Because I thought maybe if I bought her, I did it to like try and irritate her,
and it didn't irritate.
I was like, oh, if I buy these magnetic backs, then maybe she'll buy like a magnetic frame or something,
no, this
right?
Is perfect.
And so I just stuck them all in this light fixture in our dining room or in our kitchen, and they're still there. It's like a year and a half later.
They're still there,
and it looks so stupid.
It's so perfect.
Just adds character. It just adds character.
Yeah. I also like anything rusty. So I have a whole collection of doorknobs, locks, hinges that I've pulled out of abandoned houses. So nothing really that useful, except if I was going to renovate like an old house. So it just all sits in boxes and You tolerate it, and I tolerate
I mean, you tolerate this, so like you have one tote of doorknobs. I know I like to harass you about it,
because
but
it's very
only,
heavy.
Yeah, because it's only because it weighs like 1,000 pounds. Like your tote of doorknobs weighs more than everything I own.
Oh, definitely.
And so like I like to give you a hard time about it. But no, like you can collect all the random one tote rusty stuff you want. Right? Whatever, right?
So out of the rusty things, the doorknobs is your go-to. Like if you had to limit it to one thing.
I'd probably actually go with the hinges over the doorknobs because like door hinges are very artistic. There's different like designs and whatnot in there. I mean, I do like a good cat's eye doorknob or some, ceramic doorknobs, but hinges have a little bit more personality.
Okay. Well, you are the first person I've ever met that collects doorknobs and rusty things. So I find that very fascinating. I'm genuinely asking because like my mind is like, trying to connect what it is that you're collecting in your childhood, maybe. I don't know. Like,
first of all, I want to address this tetanus question. When is the last time you've had a tetanus shot?
No, I don't believe in that.
When is the last time you've had a tetanus shot?
No, I'm not answering that question.
Probably never. The answer is probably never as an adult.
Definitely never as an adult.
So again,
probably never as a child either.
This is where her true hoarder tendencies come from. Is her favorite thing is to go to like junk shops, like things where you can dig through like little bins or stuff that's just piled everywhere. Like she likes to look for good treasure, and her definition of a treasure is something nobody else will ever want.
Yeah. Okay. So here, I'm going to give you like probably one of my favorite stories. So my best friend in high school, her mom, so I lived in a very Catholic area, so small town. And so like when people would die, would pass away and they didn't have families, they would donate their entire household to the Catholic Church. Okay. And so my best friend, her mother being the secretary for the Catholic Church, she was in charge of this. So if somebody died, like she had to figure out like, what are we going to do with all this stuff? And so sometimes there'd be people that would pass away and they would have like a fridge full of food. And they would have stuff in their freezer. And so one time we definitely, like one summer, there was an old dude who passed and he had a bunch of frozen cookies and we ate this dude's like frozen cookies. Had probably been in there for like 20 years, but you know what? Like it was fine. It was totally fine. I didn't die. Totally I'm still alive. Like they were good. They were fine.
I don't know what that has to do with what you collect.
It does. I collect unnatural memories.
Okay, there you go. You know what? Actually, that is the best explanation I think you've ever given of the random stuff you collected. So the things you collect have just a very weird, like, memory attachment to them.
I will never forget Dead Man's Cookies, like, as long as I live.
And so you collect stories. You collect, there you go. You just have that physical item that ties you to that story.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it matches her personality, right? Like, she's very engaging as a human being, and storytelling is part of at least my experience with Sarah, And so I think it really makes sense. It really clicks. So because if I was to ask this same question to Rob, I'm going to get a totally different answer for totally different reasons, right? So, I mean, it works for who you are as a person, right? And so, Rob, what you collect, I mean,
right? I collect cowgirls.
Right.
I do now. Well, we live in Iowa, and there was one that was put up that was not very risque.
And then you just kept going down.
So the theme of like what occurs on our boxes here is usually like kind of the newest thing we've acquired this week. So I guess the story behind this cowgirl, right, is like, so the first one was a Lotto Toys Daisy Torres. Like she's like an innkeeper type of thing, right?
Oh, she's a beer maiden.
Like kind of like a beer maiden, right? Like very not really risque. But then two other companies made two other cowgirls within quick succession of each other. And I'm like, I live in Iowa. There are cows here. I have to have the cowgirls.
Which is so
and so funny. Now I have 3 cowgirls, and they just happen to get a little bit more voluptuous like as they went on, and so this is the one that came in this week, and so she's making an appearance, and now I have 3 cowgirls.
Well, those cowgirls are not working on the farm, I can tell you that.
No,
they're working somewhere, but it's definitely not on the farm.
That's hilarious.
I want to say hi to Justin. Hey, Justin.
So
I do want to call out Justin. So he has a fantastic live stream, and what I love about Justin's live stream this last week is that they did a ranking of guests so far this year, and
No,
we
the last 2.
or the last 2
Yeah,
years.
whatever.
And we were guests on this live stream, and so we were ranked, which phenomenal. What is better than like live streaming your ranking of past guests and making certain people feel like crap and other people feel like that's incredible. Like that idea of
We're gonna steal it. I'm gonna do it.
we are definitely going to live stream. We're going to live stream our ranking of guests in the future. It's fantastic.
I was never here.
But shout out to Justin for giving us helping us get into A tier. So we weren't S tier. That's fine.
I mean,
I get that.
I would like to think that we belong in the A tier, but I was just maybe bribe my way up at least 1 rank.
I'm glad we weren't D tier, but we made it just under S tier. We were A tier, and I'm not unhappy with that.
So I'm gonna go back around. So the question you're asking us, we're gonna just ask that back to you if you would like to answer it yourself.
Yes. What was the question?
Something about collecting. I can't remember. I tried to spin this because I couldn't remember the full words.
What's your favorite thing to collect?
There you go.
What's your favorite thing to collect?
Right.
I
knew it was there.
So for me, what is my favorite thing to collect? Oof, that's a tough one. I don't know that I specifically anymore have a favorite thing to collect, because I think I've reached a point in my life where what I collect is more like, ooh, that looks cool. And you would look great in another box. So just in my house. So but I think for the longest time it was just 2 universes, which were Transformers and He-Man. And then lately I've been getting a lot more into Legos again. You know, like I love building things. Is one of the reasons I love like YOLO Park and Blockies is because the build process itself. And Legos, I don't know if I told you guys this before, but Legos, my daughter, when she was younger, also loved Legos. And so we got the Disney princess sets, and it started out as, oh, Baba, can you help me build the, Ice princess set from whichever was the Disney IP it was. And so I said, yeah, sure. And we sat down on the floor, we opened up everything, opened up the instructions. And she just looked at me after like 5 minutes. She's like, Baba, I'll be back. I just want to check up on Mama. And that didn't happen until I was almost complete with, like, I was so locked in on like this Disney princess castle. It was crazy. I didn't even notice that she was gone. And then when she came back and she was like, Baba, that's really good. Like, I take that compliment to heart, first of all, but then I was like, where were you? Like, this was supposed to be a daddy-daughter experience, not like, here, Dad, let me, work you into this so you can build it for me, and I'll just be back later. So, but she suckered me on a few of those events. And when I was younger, I used to love Lego stuff. And before Legos, we actually had like those big building blocks, if you remember growing up. And I remember like I got held back from preschool of all grades because my best friend at the time and I turned those building blocks into a knight's shield, knight's armor that we couldn't wear because they were building blocks, but we sat behind them. And then we used our swords to kind of knock each other's armor and shields down. And they labeled us as violent behavioral tendencies, and that maybe we just weren't emotionally ready to move on to the next level. I hated that school, but
I'm gonna hold my thoughts back on that.
I'm just like, that sounds like a very creative situation where you should have actually been advanced ahead. Like,
right. But I mean, that's the reality at that point in time. And so, yeah, but ever since then, I've always enjoyed building stuff. And, at home, I fix everything at home that I can and whatnot. And even when I was younger, like my buddy and I in high school, he had a 74 Chevelle, I think it was, that we rebuilt as a summer project car with his dad and uncle and stuff. And that was fun. That was like one of the most fun building things I've ever done, I think, even to this day, in fact. So Legos right now, I think, and they're doing some fun stuff, and so, yeah, I think Legos might be my go-to right now.
Do you have the Lego trans? First of all, I am going to correct your verbiage.
Yeah, there's no S.
The plural for Lego is Lego. Thank you very much.
Well,
We
I'm
only know that
25.
because we got trolled on it.
we did a video, one of our little shorts, where she said Legos, and the entire internet banded together to correct us on that, and I have not forgotten from that point forward.
The internet is a ruthless Wild West.
But you know what? Legos deal with it, internet.
Right. That's right. I stand by Legos.
Actually, what was really funny is I had people sending me direct messages from screenshots of Lego tweeting that the plural for Lego was Lego, and I'm like, you guys are hardcore. Like,
You're out of control.
I was like,
you need a better hobby.
You know, like what do you do with your life where you actually know the exact place to go to get this screenshot to then correct me? But anyway,
right.
Do you have the Transformer Legos?
I do, and so the first entry for me for that one was a few years back. My daughter got me the Bumblebee one.
Okay.
And she actually put in the effort to build it herself.
Oh.
You know, she was making it was a statement piece more than a gift, like right. And at the end, she's like, "I'm never doing that again." So yeah, so then I ended up getting the Soundwave and the Optimus Prime one as well. I haven't built them yet, interestingly enough. And then I got the Brickhead ones, the smaller, you know, the two sets with Megatron and Prime, and I think Bumblebee was one of them too. So they are here, present in this collection of boxes.
Yeah, Justin, I'll fight them all day long. I'll fight Lego themselves, who came up with the plural for their own thing. Like,
we're starting the Legos army. Welcome.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, I mean, they're off screen here, but yeah, the Bumblebee, Soundwave, Optimus.
But the Soundwave is superior.
Yeah, honestly, Soundwave is superior, and
Bumblebee is actually the worst.
The worst, yeah. But yeah, when you get around to it, like, I think you'll be impressed with Soundwave. The transformation is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the fact that it comes with like a couple of the little cassettes that actually transform as well. And he's got a voice box, so he like makes noise, which is impressive to me. But
and he happens to be my favorite Decepticon, so it's a win-win-win for me. So
yeah. Does that mean, did you pick up the Missing Link Soundwave or pre-order both of them or just one? Yeah.
Unashamedly. I love the Missing Link line as like the whole line. I think what they're doing with Missing Link is fabulous, bringing us the old retro style, but with more of today's kind of movements and stuff. So it is my favorite. I think that one, excuse me, outside of the MP line, that is my favorite of the line so far.
Okay. So have you went all in? Have you got all of the Missing Link ones? Okay.
Yep.
So I was selective with them, and because I think I only have Optimus, Bumblebee, and RC. Grimlock, I have Grimlock, pre-ordered, and then Soundwave pre-ordered. And every day I just question, like, should I go all in? Should I just like slim this down and go all in on Missing Link? I don't know. My problem with Missing Link is like I like to take pictures of my toys, and what I am the worst at is taking pictures of Transformers. And I feel like Missing Link is even more difficult because they are less like organic looking, if that makes any sense. And so there are people that do great pictures of Transformers. I'm not one of them.
I just think this is your photo space.
This is like what I excel at. It is not things that wouldn't go from.
Well, I mean, that's kind of that fits in with your personality too, though, right? Like, here it is, unless it's one of your cowboy ones, which we get it. All right, dude.
Which is weird because like I love Transformers, right? Like the majority of my collection is Transformers, but like what I can photograph is not Transformers. I'm like, I legitimately do not understand how people take such good pictures of Transformer toys. Like I try and I'm just like, nope, we're just gonna go standard A pose and like zoom in, right, and call it good. I don't know.
I mean, they can be challenging, that's for sure. I mean, I know like when I do reviews and stuff and I'm like looking up I'm like Googling how to put this one in a dynamic pose.
Yeah.
And it literally like shows me a bunch of videos. And like hats off to the people that A, have the time to do this day in and day out, and then B, that can do it really, really well. So like you have all my respect, people, because it can be frustrating for a lot of these figures, but I mean there are some brilliant toy photographers out there, and they are inspiring, and sometimes I try to replicate. It doesn't always work out, so but then there's Rob.
Then there's that. That's Cowgirl.
Speaking of brilliant toy photographers, we're gonna have a quick segue here. First of all,
actually, that's a good segue.
yeah, no. First of all, there's a QR code up here in the corner. If you're curious what this is, if you scan it, it will not take you to inappropriate things, despite what most people think.
They could.
Someday I will do it just to mess with you all, but right now we'll take you out to Deemer's Instagram, where he also has links to all of his other things.
Yes.
So if you would like to, when I say would like to, I mean you should, and if you don't, then why are you here? Scan that QR code and follow Deemer, because he does a lot of cool stuff.
Yes.
And on that note, we would also like to do a quick little talk about a fantastic toy photographer named TF Toy Pics.
Yes.
And some other things we have here.
Who is a future guest coming up here in a couple weeks. I just need to confirm that he's still on for that time period. But TF Toy Pics, yes, does fantastic toy photography. But we also, and he is part of our Bougie Body Club, along with Blue Destron.
We're not going to dox you this week.
We are not going to dox you this week. He has deleted his inappropriate naming, which was.
In all fairness, I took what you provided.
Yeah. So picture Patreon.
Yeah.
And Fanboy Prime, who is really killing it in the chat tonight. Like, yeah. I mean, also very creative, amazing person.
Like, I thought I was good in chat sometimes,
Nah.
but all I really have is your mom jokes. Like, he is full of it. And the thing with Fanboy Prime is every time we talk to him, I learn something new about him, and like he just amazes me more as an individual.
Yes.
Like this guy like makes music.
Yeah.
And actually in like good music,
Yeah.
like he sent us a playlist to some of his songs.
I was like,
and I was
that's
listening
not
to
you
it,
singing, is
and
it?
and then it went, and then Spotify just automatically went into like Coldplay next, and I didn't know it changed to Coldplay.
Yeah.
Like so,
Fanboy's awesome.
So if you're like, how good is his music? I'm like Coldplay level in my opinion. But anyway,
that's pretty awesome. And then we've got our basic bodies, Crop Modification, who lets us use some of his music for our intro. So thank you. And Dave
also
Wonder.
makes the go.
Yes.
Remember we're talking about
yes,
at
that
the beginning.
Yes,
Fanboy
yes.
and I.
Yes, I got it.
Anyway.
I remember. And then we've got Dave Wonder, who knows everybody. He is within, like, there is a radius of Dave Wonder. No matter where you go, I promise you, if you don't know Dave Wonder, you know someone who knows Dave Wonder.
Or you will actually know that's true, because like we know Dave Wonder, and so Deemer knows us who knows Dave Wonder.
Exactly.
So.
It's constant. Yep.
Nice to meet you, Dave Wonder.
Dave streams 3 days a week. He does a lot of cool stuff. He's also a comic book artist, and
he has T Honda on, which is into robots and stuff. So
yes, and T Honda has prominently displayed behind him a Unicron.
Travis Bentley, yeah.
Yes, who has been named T Honda.
Yeah.
As everyone gets a good nickname. But thank you to our body of official bodies. If you would like to join our Patreon and receive fabulous prizes, which could include a drunk dial from us, scan the code. And provide your information, and we will send you things like, yes, a drunk dial or friendship bracelets or who knows what.
Right now the new membership exclusive includes a copy of Grave of the Fireflies.
It does.
And a Big Gun Stupid Rednecks by Austin Allen Hamblin, which is signed.
Yeah, signed.
I love how you lifted the Chrome Dino for that inside. My daughter and I are very competitive on that when you have downtime, especially when we're traveling or at a restaurant or something. It's literally on the front page of my phone. And yeah, so I see you.
Chrome Dino is great. I don't know what we do without him. What do you want?
I want to do the wheel of questions, because you did a phenomenal. So I'm going to talk about my husband here for a sec.
Don't do it.
So we had a wheel of questions, and then this one was like, no, I can do it better. because all of you guys in the chat, you're not like, oh, I'm just satisfied with this. I know you're all the same person, right? You're like, no, I can take what totally is functional and works well, and I'm going to improve it. And he actually legitimately improved it and created a little like Wheel of Questions app. And I'm excited to try it. And you are the first person. So if it fails, it's all your fault.
So, in all fairness, I do not know how to code.
Yep.
I can fumble my way through some CSS and HTML stuff and Java.
That's what you're
a few
gonna
other
get.
things. A little bit of Python here and there, right? So I will freely admit this is not like hand built by me. It is a collaboration of me and AI. So so like you're just like he's so great. And I'm like let's set expectations here.
Well, so it has our logo. So also already great.
Already.
And you can see how many questions are potentially available.
Okay.
And he can spin it and then watch.
Ooh, fancy.
Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Have you ever felt genuine grief over losing lost a word, losing a figure, and how long did it take to get over it?
So is this as an adult, as a kid, or throughout any point in life? Because
either or.
However you want it, however the spirit moves you to answer this question.
There are no rules here.
Okay, no rules. I like that. So yeah, I did. There was a point in my life where, so quick backstory to everybody in the chat that doesn't know much about me, but I was never allowed toys when I was growing up. So I literally had to ride my bike like quarter mile, half mile almost to the corner store that basically sold everything that you could think of for a very small population that he could get his hands on. And so as far as Masters of the Universe, when they came out, excuse me, he literally had He-Man and he had Skeletor. And those were the two figures that he could get his hands on to sell enough of to put on his shelf. But in any case, so when I amassed a few figures and my dad eventually found out, because my dad is very boys, no toys kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And he literally made me get everything and then searched my room for anything that was, toy paraphernalia and put it in a big bag and threw it away. And so that really hurt because I had to like earn my own money for it. And then as a kid, like doing odd and end neighbor kind of, because my dad never paid us for chores or anything like that. So it'd be like, hey, neighbor's kid, do you want to shovel my 6 feet of snow off my driveway? And I'd be like, yeah, how much? And it'd be like $5. I'm like, perfect, that's a He-Man figure. so enough of like weeding and snow shoveling, and so I had a few figures that I was able to hide, I thought, pretty well. And my first Transformer was Trailbreaker, and it was so special to me because I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And but no, like just gathered everything up and put it in a black bag and was like, this is what's gonna happen anytime I see toys. And it was just like gone, like no recovery. So yeah, when I said childhood trauma, like it was legit childhood trauma, right? And so yeah, it wasn't just one figure, it was the handful of figures at the time that meant a lot because I wasn't allowed toys, and B, because they were the only real things other than paper hats and paper boats that I could play with, that escaped me into another universe outside of what was going on around me. So that is my answer.
I would like to say like that's kind of like a wild story. I mean, it is a wild story, but generationally, just thinking about it, like it's just so crazy, like how things have evolved from like, our parents, grandparents, like to now, right?
But it's not that far off. Like, I don't think I've ever told this story, but I had this it was called Pink Blanket. That was the name, Pink Blanket. And I had this pink blanket.
I know all about it.
I know, Pink Blanket. And my parents like threw it away so many times. Like, I only have a scrap of Pink Blanket because that was all I was allowed to keep, was like this one little square of it, because they kept throwing it away. And I get it. It's like, I don't think parents realize, and I'm sure they have no concept of like, hey, you threw my like most precious thing away like so many times, and I kept bringing it out of the trash until I could finally have a piece that I could hide. But yeah, no.
Right.
So, like for me, my dad, learned more about him as I was growing up. At that point in time, for a long time, I really didn't know much about his traumas, because my dad's an immigrant. Both my parents immigrated to the United States, and they left a country that was in socioeconomic disaster, civil war beyond, just extreme kind of things going on. I had relatives that were put into prison and never seen or heard from again and stuff like that. So they were escaping that world and they came here. And that's the world they grew up in, right? Everything is tough. Everything is survival. Anything not needed to survive was not needed, period. So that's where he was coming from. And it wasn't until like last year, this last springtime, I went back overseas to go visit him, and we had the best heart-to-heart I think I've ever had. And I'm 50 now. So like he's almost 80. And I'm like, Dad, why didn't we have these kinds of talks when we were, I don't know, young? So, we could have learned a lot about each other and avoided a lot of the traumas and I help you, you help me kind of thing. Why did we have to wait until this point in our lives? And it was a very emotional talk, and it was like probably the best talk I ever had with my dad as a result. And then I'm like, I'm never going to get those toys back though, just so you know. But yeah, so it was funny like how it ended, but yeah, no. So I get his personality. Like for your pink blanket thing, like what was the trauma behind that? Like what was their reason? Because I see it as a blanket. Like what's the big deal, right?
It's too old. I was too old for it.
I mean, I had a blanket too as a kid that was a yellow blanket. Similar thing where like, we get it had a hole in it, and like my parents just like threw it away. And I was like, but this is the thing that I had for like the longest time. And so like when I grew up in 93, I was in a flood, and so it's like our house and everything gone. And so like the blanket was a thing that like existed through. And then like so shortly after like the flood, actually I think it might have been when we were still living in a camper in one of my cousin's driveways while we were trying to find a house,
because the flood like destroyed all the houses. Like
our house was under like 12 feet of water or something like that, and we tried to rebuild it, but like the main support beam broke, so then everything went boop and on each other. But it's like they threw this blanket away like while we were in this camper, like my cousin's driveway, and I'm like, so it's like we just lost everything, and then you throw the one thing away that like that persisted through, right? Like the one comfort thing that I had, and they were able to go get it out of whatever trash thing that they had put it in, that night after I like was losing my shit at like 8 years old. But like,
it's wild.
But anyway, yeah, it's just like it like to correlate to like your blanket and like your toys going in a black bag. Like it's just interesting. What again, like what people see as not being valuable to like children at certain points in life, because like again, if we had children and like they had a thing, like I'm not sure I would ever necessarily throw anything of my child's away without having a conversation with them about it, right? I'd be like, hey, I know you're like 5, but like, do you care about this? You know what I mean? If they're just like, oh, it's my favorite thing, I'd be like, okay, then that's fine, right? But
and there's conversations you can have. So like I'm the oldest of 3 kids, and we're all 6 years apart. So my youngest brother is 12 years younger than me. And so I was able to be creative when I was left to care for him. And so we would come up with things like I would come up with these scenarios to try and get him to like pick up his toys as a kid. And so I would say, hey, things that a 12-year-old child would come up with, right? Like these are not as an adult. I'm like, oh, this was I probably shouldn't have said that. But like I would tell him, hey, we have to pick up your toys because there's these invisible babies, and they could potentially put your toys in their mouth and they could choke. And so I feel like I need to revisit this subject here with my brother now as an adult. I was like, did you really believe that you were going to potentially kill invisible babies by not picking up your toys? But these are the maturations of like a 12, 13-year-old child of like, this is how I'm gonna like, and
you were also a child.
I know. He probably has no memory of this, but I definitely remember trying to convince him.
I'm sure he journals about it all the time as an adult now.
Was this your older brother? Or younger?
Logan.
Okay, your younger brother.
My younger brother.
Yeah.
That's
probably still
hilarious.
believes it.
He might still believe it. I mean, he meditates. He's like real spiritual like
Yeah.
that.
Aw. That's the life you pushed him towards.
He's like, oh,
Meditative.
invisible babies, I must meditate to save them. Like,
Oh god, he hides by himself.
too
He's like
funny.
a real weirdo like that.
and you know what? We can say what we want about him because it's not like he's gonna watch this.
Yeah, Logan.
That's hilarious. Yep.
I
that's
sure hope
right,
so. I
true.
can only hope he's going to therapy and he's using what is that app like the Betterment or whatever. I hope
Yeah.
he's using that app to talk about
So-
invisible babies.
So we know your daughter likes to troll you. Do any of your family or friends like IRL people like do they support what you do? Like watch and like share it, you know, like like or participate, or are they all just like you're an idiot and ignore it?
Let's see. My family's very supportive. Like my wife and my daughter. My daughter also collects. My wife also collects, and she was really. I should have asked for full disclosure from my wife when I married her, because she secretly brings out stuff that I don't know where she hides them in this house. And it'll be like, 1984 Cabbage Patch Kid still in its box, or like, original Barbies never opened, but they were like one-off collection items, and football and baseball cards and all these random things. I'm like, first of all, where are you getting these from? Like, and B, hell yeah, like, like that's really cool. So that's, I guess, part of the reason why she never really had a problem with my collection stuff. And so to answer your question, my daughter also collects, and she started collecting after she was quietly and shadily watching. I was watching Transformers Prime. I was rewatching the series, and I didn't realize she was behind me behind the couch and watching with me. And then one day she actually just like sneezed or coughed, and I'm like, who is that? And it was her, and she started busting out laughing. She goes, "Dad, this is a really cool show," like. And so we just sat and watched it together. And then she's like, "Can I have Transformers? I've been really like, wanting one, but I'm shy to ask. I don't know what your thoughts are." We just had this beautiful conversation about toys and Transformers and collecting. And then so she started getting, more diverse in her collection now, where she's collecting like anime toys and Transformers and, all kinds of really cool, fun stuff.
Not
she's
cowgirls.
She's not, no, cowgirl's not one of them. In fact, like I know when I got sent a couple, what was it, the Firebird figures? And she was like, "Dad, we need to talk," like, so yeah, she's very much about the spirit of all kinds of collectors and stuff like that. But then she's like, she has her limits of what she knows she likes and what she knows are like off limits, which I respect, because that's more control than I have for myself. Right. Like, exactly. Right. And, but yeah, we love going to the conventions together. And I mean, you guys saw her. She is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And so both of them are very supportive of what I do, although they used to watch a lot more at the beginning. And now it's like, oh God, he's filming again. Oh God, he's going to have another, show or whatever. And, but none of my friends in real life, IRL, actually know I do this, because I tried opening up like segue conversations to it, and they're just like, grown men and toys, like, what's that about? Like, like, oh yeah, totally, like, who does that? I do have like some people I grew up with, like Joe, you'll see him in my chats and stuff, and Orion, he comes in a lot. Like, we kind of, like, Joe and I grew up together, and we've been best friends or close friends since literally grade school. And Orion, he's somebody that I met through work a long time ago, and has, does work for me now and stuff like that. And so they're very much into collecting. Like, Joe is a G.I. Joe guy, and he's big into motorcycles, and he fixes and repairs bikes and stuff like that. That's his big hobby. And then Orion is an MP collector. Very rarely do I influence him into non-MP stuff, but he is like very serious about like MP Transformers. And Optimus Prime is his ultimate favorite. So anytime I post a Prime thing, he's like, more Prime. You know, and like we'll sit and chat and he's like, dude, you got to put more Prime stuff out. I'm like, this isn't called the Prime channel. Like, but they're the only ones in real life that I feel comfortable that actually know me personally, that I've, you know, grown up with or worked with or any of that. So it's tough in my circle to be taken like, you know, like I own a company and like, you know, do real work for real people and then be like, dude, you collect toys? Like, do we have the right person for the right job?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your guys' experience with that?
I mean, anybody that we work, so I would say that I work with, they don't know about this. I wouldn't, they especially don't know about this.
Right.
Like I would talk to them about it. Like we kind of have some of these like group chat type of things at work where every once in a while I'll try and like broach the subject. Like I've encountered a few people that actually, there was one person I talked to from another department one time, and they actually are the ones that convinced me to convince you to go to TFCon the first time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But like I talked to that person one time and that was that.
Mm.
But anyway, so like, you know, all of like her family, my family is a little bit smaller. I'm an only child, so like surprise.
Surprise, right,
nobody
yeah.
knew that. Like, and so like, you know, brothers or sisters like to talk to about it. But
we
like,
got a brother now, so you know.
But you know, like, so her family, they all know about it.
Oh, yeah.
They I would say they
don't listen to this podcast.
They don't.
This is
Yeah.
too hard for them. You know, they can't.
Mhm.
But like even my like.
But they don't really. I don't even know if they interact necessarily with like the photography or any of the
No.
other.
They like the shorts.
Stuff.
They're very
Mm.
into the short videos.
And so-
that gets passed around
Yeah.
through the family chats.
So the thing that I always think is interesting is, and maybe this is me because I'm an only child and I'm like, oh, if I had siblings, where like if any of like my family or friends like went in on a thing, if they're like, hey, I'm gonna like try this thing that's like different, but I really enjoy it, I would unconditionally support them and like promote all their stuff and do whatever I could to like.
Okay, so you sound like someone who's never had siblings.
Yes.
And so you don't understand. Like that's not how it works.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, so remember at one point in time, like when your younger brother
Yeah.
was talking about like, oh, maybe I'll do like a history like podcast or something. And I was like, I would listen to every episode. I would share it. I would
Right.
comment. Like I would do
Right.
all the things that the algorithm wants to try to help his history thing be like successful, even though like I don't care about history because I'm like, that's too smart for me. But I'm like, maybe I'll learn something in the process.
I
Like,
know.
but I always find it interesting that it's like we have all kinds of people online, right, that we meet, that we connect with, you know, like meet at conventions, that are like, yeah, like you guys do cool stuff, like we like your stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I like your stuff too, you do cool stuff, and like you know, it's like everybody is supporting each other online, right, that you meet
Right.
like in spaces and things, but then you know the people that are, you know, like that live next door, they're just like,
That's not true. Our neighbors are fantastic.
okay, our neighbors,
Our neighbors
sorry,
are fantastic.
our neighbors are
Okay.
fine, but like
But yes,
you know,
one of my
so.
favorite things is our neighbor. Well, both of so one of our neighbors on either side, like because we don't just do dumb stuff on the internet, we do dumb stuff in real life too. So like Oktoberfest is coming up, so we get dressed up in like I wear a dirndl, you wear your lederhosen, like we go all out.
You're committed.
We are, yes. If we're gonna do something, we're doing the thing.
I don't partially do it.
And so
if you couldn't tell.
And so one can imagine if you've met us in real life and we're going that hard and we're
Right.
we are all of the promotional materials. So
Right.
we get text
Not
messages.
because we get paid to do it.
No,
it's just
'cause
we're there. And
because we're there, we're having a good time, like we're just acting ridiculous. So that's what I get messages from my neighbors is like, hey, just you know, screenshots from Google ads of like, hey, did you know you're like the face of Oktoberfest, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, I know.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Or like, oh, can I have your signature? So that's my yes. This is
So-
what happens from.
So I'm gonna let everybody in on a little secret here. If you want to get your face out there and be known locally, the trick, just watch the camera people.
Yeah.
Wherever they're at, follow them, get in front of them. That's all I do. I'm like, oh, camera guy taking pictures this way. We're gonna migrate that way. And then
Mhm.
and then you're in all the advertisements.
Yeah.
You're the face of
That's
everything.
funny.
It's super easy.
We are the
You
face.
just-
It's obnoxious.
yeah,
Like
the-
we are the face of Des Moines Oktoberfest.
The trick is to just be
That's
in all of
hilarious.
the photos and look like you're having a good time.
Oh.
Well, I hope they end up paying you. You know, like
they won't.
signing your
They
name,
won't.
They definitely won't.
endorsing a check, right? So,
I just like being being in the photos and advertisements because then I can pretend I'm famous.
Yeah.
right.
Like I
We,
can-
okay, so we have an alt account. So this was our original social media account, which was called Des Moines Famous. It still exists. We just don't post on it anymore because
one
because
is,
I like
is it too much?
because I like to be a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I have no aspirations to move to some larger metropolitan area and fight with like actual famous people. Like it is better to pretend you're famous in just like a very mediocre standard place.
And I don't think I ever really want to be famous. I just want to pretend. Like,
That's that's more fun than probably being famous, I imagine.
Yeah.
You know, without all the drama and stuff around you. Because back in the day, I used to have this shirt that said, "I'm big in Europe." Right? People are like, "What do you do?" Right? Like, I'm big in Europe. So
I don't.
That's what I
I don't want to spoil this, but like I'm gonna spoil it anyway because this is one of my favorite things that we do.
What?
You know, in case we ever send you something.
Oh.
But like one thing we like to do is whenever we send anybody something, you know, it's like for whatever reason,
I know it's
we have this picture that I've made that's basically of us, and we sign it
yes.
and we include it in with whatever we're
But
know
we're like giving the
we're flirting
finger.
people off. It's like so like it's kind of like our version of like a headshot, right? We sign.
But it's
that's
so
hilarious.
stupid.
I love
I'm
it.
wearing like cheetah print pants. Like it's obnoxious. It's totally
That's
obnoxious.
hilarious.
So
That's absolutely
if
hilarious.
you come up with a reason for me to mail you something, you'll definitely get one. Like, I don't care what.
You don't need a reason; just mail it to me.
I mean, that's true, but
I'll
like,
put it behind me for the shows. You know?
Oh.
Lex won't say your name, but I'll put your picture.
Oh.
but that's my favorite thing I think we do to pretend
dumb.
we're famous is like whenever we mail somebody something, we always sign this stupid like picture. Like we got like a stack of them. Like every time we run out, we print more, so we always have a stack of them on
This is
hand.
so stupid. It's so idiotic.
That's
Actually, when we went to BotCon, didn't we bring some to BotCon?
Oh yeah.
And I think we forgot. Did we hand any out? I don't
No,
know.
we hand some out at TFCon. We hand some out at
I
BotCon.
can't remember
I
if we
don't
handed out
remember.
BotCon.
It doesn't matter. It's so stupid. It's
Yeah.
so dumb. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, you would.
What
What do you want?
I want to do another question. We
Okay.
only got through one question. I did a lot of Deemer specific
Oh,
questions.
okay.
I'm here
Okay,
for all the
so
questions.
I'm gonna reiterate what I said last time. Is if you want specific questions,
I did put them in here. There's only
need
15.
to need to ask them.
There's only 15.
That's a loud like noise.
Yeah, that is a loud noise. Why'd you do that? Oh, do you come
Mm.
from a long line of hoarders, or are you the black
Mm.
sheep or patient zero in your family?
That's a fantastic question, Sarah. You came up with these?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So no, the only person that I know personally throughout, and I have a huge family on my mom's side, like 60 cousins, 10 aunts and uncles, you know, and I'm the only collector that I'm aware of, other than my grandfather, God rest his soul, who used to collect a lot of history stuff because he's very much into philosophy and history and humanity in general, and that's where I get a lot of my stuff from him. And so he would always go, and he started me into, and this is very subconscious now that I'm actually saying it out loud, but when I was younger, he'd always get me like stuff from historical sites he would visit because he used to be a minister of tourism overseas, and they'd go to all these ancient sites and stuff like that. So every now and then he'd give me like, oh, this is a rock from, you know, old Petra, or this is a, you know, something from this part of the world. And I'd just be like, cool, rocks. And, you know, whatever it was, I would keep it like it was the world's biggest treasure, you know?
Right.
And but then when I actually like what I'd sit at his desk, he's got like journals, and his family had this huge library, the largest philosophy, religion, and history book library in the country that they're from. And one of the things I really noticed, because he would always write and stuff, are these little pencils. And I started mimicking that pattern of behavior when I was younger. My mom, God rest her soul, she'd be like, "You're just like your grandfather, collecting these nonsensical things. What do you need with a pencil that's been sharpened up until almost the eraser?" Like, I don't know. Like, my grandpa used to do it, and I thought they were cool. So
Waste not, want not.
exactly, right. But he's the only, like, and he's legit. Like, his collection was phenomenal, but they're like real world history stuff, right? Whereas we're doing toys. So he's the only one across all sides that I think is the only collector. So
That's super cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
how about
cool.
you guys? Any well, I mean, Sarah talked about her hoarding family.
So
Yeah.
So this hoarding question is kind of like a reoccurring thing we kind of bring up in various ways sometimes, because I fundamentally believe the collecting is just like stemming from hoarding. It is just a different version of it that's prettier depending on how you
It's
do your
like
stuff.
if you go back to hunter gatherers,
Yeah.
like whoever had the most food, you know,
I'm
you
definitely a
won.
gatherer.
Yeah.
So so my grandma went through, Great Depression or whatever, right? And she was definitely a hoarder. Like she I can't remember if it was my grandma or her parents. One of them were immigrants. I can't remember which one though.
Probably them, your grandma's parents.
But so it's like, she lived on a farm. They had a farm. It was like soybean, potato type of stuff. I can't remember if they had any cattle.
It was
but
very subsistence.
anyway, but my grandfather died before I was born. But like whatever existed, like like they just had a house on a farm, and so it's like in a small town. So it's like she didn't really need a lot, but because of the depression and everything, like she kind of just hoarded like weird random things, and like the thing that she hoarded was egg cartons, and so yeah, it was the weirdest thing. So like when you would go upstairs, like their house was 2 stories, and in the top floor there was kind of like a little cove, and that it was just from floor to ceiling of just like stuff. Just like random stuff to save, like egg cartons and things of that nature, right? And I think maybe with the egg cartons, what it was, I don't know if that's how they like kind of grew, like started to grow like some of their crops, like if they planted seeds in these, like before they could plant them in the ground, and then when planted the egg carton type of thing, because they would not disintegrate, what's the word when things go away in the dirt?
Disintegrate.
Sure, whatever.
Disintegrate, etc.
Yeah. Decompose. There we go. But yeah, so like my grandma was a hoarder. She just had all kinds of stuff. My mom was a different type of hoarder, I would say, where like she hoarded like what I would say is like trinkets and things, but like it's like it was like family type of thing. Like she had this giant chest of like pictures and all kinds of things that like she never looked at. They were just in this dumb chest, right? But besides that, like my direct lineage, nobody else in my family really that I know of has hoarding tendencies.
I mean, all my family has hoarding tendencies. I mean, we have so much dumb. Like I have my grandfather has his grandfather's anvil because he was a blacksmith. Like we have like just a lot, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's hoarding per se. It's more of just like keeping the family history. And when you've been in the same area, the same county since 1850, stuff just sorts out.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So I like to say like what I collect are toys, action figures, right? But I hoard the boxes.
Yeah, no, you definitely hoard the boxes.
Like the boxes
serve
no like functional purpose. They're just in other boxes stacked in the back room. So
boxes.
You actually posted a picture not too long ago, right, with your stack of boxes, collecting boxes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I gotta figure out. Like I have come to the decision that I'm going to get rid of them. But I need to figure out the method in which it occurs.
Because we live in too nice of a neighborhood where we can't have a burn barrel.
Yeah.
That is against city code to put a burn barrel in the backyard or in the driveway.
Okay.
But if we lived
I want to turn
our old house, we could have done that.
I want to do something dumb and turn it into either like a challenge or something where I'm like, can I do for like every like 100 followers or 50 followers, something I get, like I get rid of a box.
Yeah.
So like make it like a community thing where it's like people are like making me do it. I don't know. I haven't quite figured out the logic because I'm like, I could just go gather them all up, flatten them, put them in recycling, but I'm like, but that's not very fun.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is the fun way to do it?
So we're trying to workshop like what is the thing that'll get us to so many followers too? How can we get these?
So I mean, I don't know what kind of area you guys live in, but I know like when I lived in Pennsylvania, we had a beautiful area where you could just like rent out for real cheap, and they had a burn barrel like literally in one of the areas that you could just clean up your shit and just put it and burn it and be done and whatever, right? And so if you guys have something like that, I think that'd be a cool stream to do. Like, I don't know, like how many users per, and then, rank your boxes. Like a Hasbro box would be 1 user per box, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's like something that's special to you, like the Cowgirl box, that could be 100, subs there, something like that. And
I mean, there would be some that I would probably not like. I'm not going to get rid of like the HasLab boxes or things like that, but kind of like just the run of the mill.
Not even for 1 million subscribers.
Okay, I mean, if there's a there is a level, there's something there, right? Like I don't know what it is.
Everybody got a price, my friend.
Yeah. But there's a price point for everything, right? Yeah. Like I can be bought easily. So Deluxe wants to know what your favorite 3-0 figure is.
Okay, so I haven't opened up a lot of them yet, but I will say I think my favorite one right now is the one sitting on my desk, and it's the one you just reviewed, Mr. Deluxe Baldwin, and this guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Lockdown.
Yeah.
Beautiful figure. I never had any of the issues that he had in his first one or second one. And he is just phenomenal. Like I think the trend that Yellow Park and 3-0, that their improvement process, I am all aboard, especially like Yellow Park. But this is probably one of my ultimate favorites as far as what I've opened from 3-0 so far. And I know I've got some premium boxes unopened still in DLX and MDLX that I haven't gotten to yet, but this guy's phenomenal. And I don't know if any non-transforming Transformer fans are in this chat or stream, but if you guys do like this stuff, this is one I highly recommend, hands down, personally. So,
is that DLX or MDLX?
This is a DLX size.
Okay.
So they're probably about 8-10 inches, somewhere about 8-ish inches maybe.
I've been collecting the MDLX ones. I'm trying not to go into DLX.
Try not to?
Yeah.
Well, I will be the devil's advocate and say you should go into them because they're phenomenal, man. Like I love this stuff, and you get the Chinese cancer for free with the oils. And so,
I mean, they look great. It's just the space problem.
The space is a real problem.
Because again, like I have probably 5, I think, that I haven't opened yet of the MDLX. And I mean, I have a place for them. It's just, again, my backlog.
Because he creates these fake rules for himself, where he has to have the inspiration for a picture. I think we've worked through that a little bit, but he can't open something unless he can transform it into all of the different transformations and then put it back in robot mode, and then it can go on the shelf. But ideally, again, he can take a picture. So he has these thresholds. He can't just open it up and put it on the shelf.
Because everything I open, like I want to spend time with it. Because otherwise, if I just open it and put it on the shelf, I'm like, what's the point of even buying it?
Well, I agree with Rob on this one because I'm the collector that actually likes to play. And on my work desk, there are literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 different Transformers just on my work desk, plus a really big Voltron. So and I like to play with them in my meetings, and not when I'm not on camera, obviously, because judgment has its downsides with the type of people I have meetings with sometimes. But they're here, and especially if I'm going to review something, like I will film the unboxing and opening in one segment by itself. And then after it's out, then I'll actually sit and play with it during my meetings, because it gives me something interesting sometimes to do when I'm not And then B, it gives me real hands-on time to see how it feels, how it breaks or doesn't break, what pops off, what doesn't pop off, and how easy the transformation can be. And can I follow just the instructions that it comes with it, or is it going to be a transformation hell kind of project? So, and then things that I think that I'm not going to like will end up growing on me in that process, or things that I think, oh, I'm so excited this is in, but then it's just like, as Deluxe says, it's trash, and falling to pieces, and it's frustrating, and I want nothing to do with it, and I don't even want to review it, but I'm here for the honesty, and so it'll get reviewed, and everything will get on camera as far as the downsides, just as much as the good sides of the project are. So, or whatever it is I'm reviewing. So.
Yeah, and I actually that's part of it for me too. Is like I like to be able to give my opinion on things. So we'll just talk about this one here for a quick second. I know it's weird, but it's fine. That's why it's there. It's there because it's weird because it's there. It's there because it's weird. So I don't know if I've seen one other person do a review on it. So I don't really do reviews because one, I don't know how, and two, I don't think I can do anything better than anybody else. And I watch other people for this stuff to know what I want to buy. Yeah. And so then I'm like, well, they already did a review on it. There's no point in me giving my commentary because it already exists and I wouldn't say anything different.
And also you're better doing dumb stuff.
I'm better being an idiot. And so, but yeah, so like I watched a review on this one, so I know if I need to cancel it or keep the order. But I talked to a guy over the last few days about it because he said he hadn't seen any reviews on it, and so I gave him my opinion and comparisons, and we kind of chatted one-on-one about it a little bit, or in comments and stuff, and so that's kind of how I make connections with people, and is talking about things I have,
and you love to give your opinion,
and I love to give my opinion.
If anybody really wants someone's honest opinion on something, this man would love nothing. He will spend hours crafting. I don't know, Austin, if you're still here, but Austin sent us his business plan. This man sat at the table and read and responded to every line of Austin's business plan. You spent 3-4 hours doing that.
I will tell you.
And he was so excited about it. He's like, oh, I get to provide my opinion. I get to give advice.
I will tell anybody anything they want to. If I know something, I will spill everything I know. And if people want an honest opinion, I will give my honest opinion on anything. I don't care because I don't know.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
honestly, right?
Because that's what I want back, right? I mean, we're different here because
I would not. I don't like to give advice unless I feel like the person is open to hearing the advice.
Well, and
I don't think a lot of people, when they come to you asking for advice, are actually in a space where they can hear the truth.
So
that's fair. And there's a lot of truth behind that. And in a work environment, opinion is different than, say, a social environment, I think, for at least the space, right? Work environment, you always have to, I think, should ask, hey, are you open and receptive to an opinion or a thought or something that is, you may not like it, but there's going to be truth behind it, right? And I'm coming from a place of safety and love and care because I want you to grow and I want you to flourish and do better, right? And sometimes you'll actually hear a no, I don't want to hear anything, right? And but those that want, and especially in our space, I love we can just sit and talk and be open. And I've met a lot of wonderful people throughout this process, especially at the conventions or people online, sliding into my DMs and stuff. And say, hey, can we chat about this? And I have one guy that I absolutely love. Toby always is he's a big DC guy, and the comics and the shows and the movies and the figures and stuff. So our chats are exclusively almost to the DC universe stuff. And I love how excited he gets about, certain characters and whatnot. And, that's somebody, and even Rob, when he were, he was showing me some of his stuff, and he was so excited about Sea Spray and so excited about all the stuff, right? I love that. Give me that kind of open, honest interaction and let that big kid out and let's have fun. And, with Deluxe, it's the same thing. We'll sit and we'll talk, and it's a very open and honest kind of thing. There's no filter, no holds barred with this guy, right? Just, it is what it is.
And he lets you talk 15% of the time. So, I mean, I
love
hope he's
that
still
guy.
here and heard that.
I love him.
I'm just teasing.
We actually had a joke that we were gonna do and I forgot about it.
Yeah, we were gonna do a joke.
Where I
Like,
was gonna interrupt you every like 2 seconds, like for a second.
okay, that's
but
not gonna
no.
stand up. All
Um,
right, that's gone.
but I agree with you. Like, so to wrap up my prayer thought, but also move forward is like, yeah, I agree. So like that's why I like to not take things out until I'm going to do pictures, because when I do pictures, that's kind of where I
Yeah.
put like my commentary or like my thoughts, like in the commentary or my thoughts in the comments or the description or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
I do little, I would say mini reviews, right? Because I don't have enough words to say about it. I could speak forever about, I could say hours and hours of like nothing, right? I could talk forever, but like if you're like,
Yes.
hey, create a 10-minute video on a thing, right? I couldn't do it.
No, absolutely
Um,
not. No.
But I can write, you know, like a paragraph and be like, you know, this is good, it sucks, like should you buy it, yes or no, right? And so but I guess I just want to be able to put that information out there for people, and I can't do that if I don't take it out of the box and like spend time with it.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
100%.
Because otherwise I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty, but like, or you know, like it looks nice on the shelf, you know, like, but you know, if I want to talk about Siege, I'm losing it. I'm drawing
I have
blank
no
on,
idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
Logical.
Shockwave?
Shockwave, yeah.
There you go.
Siege Shockwave versus Studio Series 86 Shockwave, right?
Mhm.
Like, how can you, like, if I don't, you know, spend time with each one, then how can you tell the difference between them? I don't know. Anyway, so what was I gonna say to wrap that up and move forward? Spending time with things. Oh, to your comment about how you like, you know, kind of make these connections with people, right? And that's how I find same thing, right? Is you know, end up making connections with people based off of, you know, the things where, you know, if you don't play with it, have the time with it, then
Right.
how do you do that? I don't know.
I agree.
So I have a question. I don't believe that we're gonna hit it, so I'm just gonna ask this. I wrote them down here, but it's on the wheel. So if we ended up at it twice, then fine. But this one I have is, if your daughter secretly replaced one of your figures with a knockoff, how many days would it take you to notice?
Currently not I wouldn't say days, maybe hours, because a lot of my stuff is still in boxes. So
Okay.
what you guys have seen on my reviews is the only stuff that's out in boxes as far as the figures go. And there are no, there are like divorce level boxes in this house. So I'm trying my best to get them organized and plow through a bunch of organizational skills and stuff that I know I'm absolutely not going to review. I'm just going to unbox them and put them on the shelves and just be done with, I think, a portion of them at least that way. And so, yeah, so it wouldn't take long. It wouldn't take long. Now, if the reverse were true, she wouldn't notice for some time, because all her stuff is out of boxes and displayed. She's better than I am when it comes to that. So,
is that what prevents you from just unboxing stuff? Is like because you want to do reviews and stuff on them?
So honestly, there was a point in my time I was homeless, and so the stuff that I had wanted to keep, I just put in a box and put in a friend's, garage for a while.
Mhm.
And so I lived in that Camaro that I talked about, and it was me and my cat and my clothes for almost a year, and until I got back on my feet again. And during that time frame, I think because of the emotional side of being in that kind of position,
Right.
is I stayed living in boxes because of the uncertainty, I think, that I developed during those times, or because of those times, to the point that even like when I got engaged and married, and my wife was like, so where are these boxes going? Right. So, and then she was very good about just letting me just kind of take my time.
Mhm.
And then just before COVID started, I actually had a stroke.
Oh.
And so then through that experience, through the testing of that experience, there was a lot of other things that was discovered that I never knew existed in my body that I needed to get treated. And that was like a big wake-up call. So for the next, few years, going through a bunch of stuff, and still stuff I deal with today, my wife was like, look, we only have one life,
Mhm.
and we never know when we're going to go. And I'm your biggest cheerleader. get your shit out of boxes, enjoy your life, like just enjoy it, because these are stuff you took the time and effort to get and accumulate over time, but they live in boxes. Who's enjoying them, right? And it really, really resonated with me. And so a big push of why I was like, you know what, if I'm going to sit and unbox everything. And I know there's people that also love this stuff because I saw it online. I didn't know that there was a corner online and, that people actually reviewed them until my daughter started showing me. And that's how I came across Deluxe's channel and all the other YouTubers that were big in the space, MGO, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was like, crap, like I can share my love and affection and the process and my thoughts about this. And like people watch this stuff, And so then I started studying these people that I actually watch. And then, so I opened up the channel and then I was like, okay, my tech side needs to kick in. Let me study the algorithms and what is catching and what is not. And so I built an AI to study AI of the platforms and stuff like that. And so that's where now it's just like, okay, in addition to my long days, I still want to do this stuff. I don't have all the time days. Now I'm trying to build a device that clones me so I can do one of me that just unboxes and reviews, and the other one can just enjoy and work and stuff like that. But no, seriously, like there is a lot of stuff that I still want to crunch through, and I love doing this, and I love what I didn't appreciate because I didn't know existed was just meeting other people in this space and developing and cultivating those relationships and seeing how safe it is. And just everybody's walls don't exist, which is really, really for me, just amazing. The first con we went to, my daughter and I went to, and I was just like, no way does this kind of social atmosphere exist. This is not possible, because that's not what my life experience has been. So I was like, I'm totally in love, and I'm totally like, I'm diving in head first with this kind, and I'm just carrying it through. And when we came back and my wife was like, well, how was the convention? And I was like, I want you to hear it through your daughter's lens, And she was like, I'm coming with you guys to the next one to see if all that's true. And she did. She came. She was like, I would never have guessed in a million years, like there's people like this. And you can be whoever you want to be, and you are who you are, your authentic self, and there's no judgment, and there's all kinds of trust. And, one of the only places I let my daughter run around wherever she goes and know that she's going to be okay, kind of thing. So yeah, like this community, I genuinely love, and meeting people like Deluxe and you guys and the great guys that I've met, Gib ATL and, Bobby and the TF Marauder, like all these people that we've met over time and getting to know them, like that to me is now I think elevated more than my even love for the collection side, if I'm being honest. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree with that. Like after BotCon, in meeting a lot of the people we did, I'm just like, we need to go to every convention. Like this is way more. I'm like, we can go to things where there are people like us, and we can talk about. Well, I mean, I can talk about.
You
things,
talk about stuff. I can
but
talk
you
about.
You can then you can talk about trauma with people.
Well,
I mean,
well, it doesn't always have to be. Trauma.
I know. I just
like,
mean
that's just
you can
extra.
talk you can talk to people about their personal side,
yes,
and I can talk to people about the thing that I'm interested in, and you know, like.
Because that's not the problem for me. I can go to any place and talk to anyone about anything. Like my problem is that I'm going to become somebody's best friend.
Yeah.
Like that is actually the concern. Whereas I feel like you like that's the difference. Is like you don't often find like that crossover for people.
I don't know.
I mean,
the last few things we've like.
I mean, you do, but I think it's different.
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
I'm interpreting.
I mean, like. I latched on to Sam and we got Deemer, and I'm trying to get who's the third person that I talk to frequently now. I can't remember anyway. There's like 3 people we came away from BotCon with.
So we've gotten through 3 questions.
There was one other thing I was gonna ask that was kind of related. I'm trying to remember what it was. Because we were talking about what we were talking about. Unboxing things. Okay.
Yes.
So this is an unsolicited opinion or advice. Like do what you want with it. I don't care. But so one thing that we did this last weekend, because I'm trying to rearrange and reconfigure all my shelves, was like we just did some live streams on another platform that has more discoverability than this or other things. And like I just unboxed a bunch of stuff like while on the stream, and that was actually enjoyable.
that was
like
fun.
that was enjoyable, like because I was doing it, like I was sitting and transforming it, and like we were talking to people about what I was unboxing or what we were doing and stuff like that. So it's like it's not a dedicated review video for that one specific thing, but I got like 13 things unboxed, like in
It was so nice.
like in a weekend and on shelves and displayed better, and I got to spend time with each one of them. I mean, well, some of them were things like they were duplicate molds, like
like Dave has Dave Wheeler, Dave Wonder. He has a stream called
Grippin' and Rippin'.
And it's just him and his friends, and they just open whatever.
They just unbox some
That's just their whole thing. Is they're just BSing and then talking to one another while they open their latest figures, and that's
not even their latest things, just whatever
whatever's in their backlog, and that's
a
good concept.
I love that because I've talked on my stream several times with Deluxe. Like at some point, it'd be cool, like just to have all this stuff, especially that I don't feel maybe like reviewing like full reviews, right? And I know like there's people that pipe in and be like, oh, hey, can you unbox this while we're streaming and stuff? And yeah, man, I'll unbox while we're streaming. I don't care, but and so I keep saying to Deluxe, or I keep saying to myself, even like in some review videos, especially when it comes to like the Hasbro stuff, right? Because those for me, algorithmically speaking, are the worst performers for me. My audience doesn't really care for the Hasbro stuff. It has to be like the HasLab or something like really unique or one-off that actually perform well. Everything else is literally trash when it comes to the algorithm for my people. But then my algorithm, my AI is like, just do a bunch of them together and then see what happens. And I was like, that's brilliant. And so I think that's what I'll end up doing, is just doing like a Hasbro unboxing stream or whatever, and getting just, you know what, we're just going to spend 24-hour stream or 10-hour stream or whatever, and just make my wife happy stream or whatever it is.
I like that, make my wife happy stream.
So I'm not even trying to rip off like Dave Wheeler here, but like another thing Dave does is he does like a charity stream. So he does a 24-hour charity, and he brings people on, and I think that's fantastic. He does it for like kids cancer. But like
you, Dave, like
I know,
I number one fan.
No, I love Dave. I think he's fantastic.
No, he's great. Like he's a great guy.
One of my favorite people. Ever. But I'm just like, man, like, could there be like a Transformers version of that where people just unbox like figures for 24 hours and raise money for a good cause?
Because clearly we all have backlogs, but
yes, because you
like this is not me trying to tell you what to do by any means. I share an experience.
that what you just said. Sorry, Sarah. I like what you like, raise money to do it. That is cool. I love that.
He actually
it's fantastic. So he does it. So it'll be, I think it's coming up here again. We joined he does a 24-hour stream, and then he does a couple like mini marathons, but it's for a children's cancer research. So it is Extra Life. So, and people will donate stuff too. So there's like giveaways. But what I love about Dave's stream too, because again, this is a Dave appreciation stream here.
All of our streams.
All of it's always about Dave because he's the best. But he does this thing called Nugget of Doom. And so people can spend $50 and then he will eat a nugget with like a chicken nugget with hot sauce. Until he's like dead, right? Like because you can only eat so much like hot sauce in a very short period of time before you're just like completely wiped out.
So this is his 7th year doing it, right? But like, he's raised $4,000 some odd dollars already. This is, I think, his yearly goal. He usually passes, I think, the goal. But to what she was saying, right? So it's like he has like these different, here's a nugget. Of doom. Like, like he just like it's like chicken McNuggets with hot sauce and stuff. But
he does he has got like little custom heads, so you can get a Dave head.
That's I love that. And Dave, I feel like I've gotten to know you so well through this stream. And but seriously, my heart and hat off to you, brother. We'll
put on a plug to Dave and tell him that he needs to invite you to the stream because
he's fantastic.
They do that. But I guess so. Anyway, to finish my thought, what I was trying to say is like given that like I like to spend time with each thing before like I move past it. I was surprised that like I actually enjoyed just kind of doing a little bit of a mass unboxing. I mean, it wasn't a lot of stuff, but like I don't know. So just throwing it out there for anybody that like might need to hear it. Here's an hour later or ever. But like, if you like give it a shot, right? Like maybe go through a handful of stuff and on a live stream with some random people, and
it works. It helps.
Because there was one guy that was like, "Hey, do you have the new Predaking? Like I really want to like see that." And I was like, "I do, but I just haven't unboxed it yet."
And so you've unboxed it.
Not the Predaking.
Not on the Predaking.
No, but I was like, yeah, maybe next time I'll whip that out and we can unbox it and show you all the thing, and so it's a different type of way to go about it, where it's like I can't do a review, but I can do show and tell.
Right. Yeah, it's exactly. It's the kid in your adult form, show and tell. So I like that. I love it.
So I want to ask, this is one more for the wheel here, and I'm just not convinced. Well, yeah, you click the wheel and we'll do that. And then if we don't get to if it doesn't land on this one, then I'm going to ask it later here.
Okay.
When you are gone, what do you hope happens to your collection? Stays together, all new owners, or you're buried with it?
Dark questions.
I love the last one. Never really thought about it, but now I kind of want a shrine around my grave.
Or if you want to desecrate your body and be cremated. I'm very opposed to cremation. This one wants to be cremated. It is probably the only thing.
But it's because I want to be made into little figurines and then have my ashes and little figurines given to everybody.
This is the only thing we probably really fundamentally disagree with, and I'm just very opposed to this whole cremation thing. But
if I go before you, Deemer, you're gonna get one, and with one of our signed pictures.
I'll put it in the back. Be on every single stream. Be like, let's have a moment in silence to remember Rod.
But no, I mean, you could be like your ashes could be in one of your figures, but like, yeah, what do you hope? It could be your urn.
So yeah, I mean, okay, I mean, if my daughter's watching, she will discover that pretty much most everything, including the big collection we have, is in my will and trust to her. So it is for her to decide what she would like to do, especially because she is such a huge fan of a lot of stuff I collect. And then anything she doesn't want to collect, I'm actually, I've been building a database of everything that I do collect so that it can be easily identified, especially not just for me as something to, hey, where did I put this? I can just, be like, oh yeah, it's in storage unit, blah, 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 and shelf, whatever. And under your bed, and look to your left, stupid. So there's that will be easy for her to say, oh yeah, I really want these kinds of things, or I'm going to sell it, but here's a tool that will help me at least get value for what it's worth contemporarily. So, but I'm just the dig me a hole and throw me in kind of guy when I pass. So let me return to recycling the earth and do my part. So plastic is not that option for me. So.
Well, the concrete figures are.
But yeah, that's a great question.
So we've established, right? What I've said is that I'm going to make her keep HasLab Unicron.
Yeah.
So that's not an option. Like it will persist. She will not be able to get rid of that. But then, like, because
I also have superior genetics, so I'm definitely.
I will definitely die before her, hands down. And then you can pick 3 things that you want to keep.
Yep.
And then everything else can either be thrown away, donated, or like given to somebody. Like. Ultimately, what I would hope is like there would be like a warning sign where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die in 3 days, so then I can like be like, hey, bro, come over and get all these toys, right? Like, but in event of sudden death, like those are the guardrails. Like you have to keep Unicron, you can pick 3, everything else goes.
Well, I mean, you could include that in your medical directives, right? In the event of incapacitation or sudden death, right? HasLab Unicron. I feel like there's a subconscious troll to me on you keep bringing that up here towards the end.
There's actually not, but
I mean a little bit, because I remember you did not get one.
Thank you. My daughter's gonna love that piece. Yeah, make it part of your directive. These 3 items go to Sarah, and then rush and sell everything so I can see the fruits of my labor before I go.
Yeah. Like ultimately, I mean, like unless you need the money and want to go through selling it, like I would just be like, I would try to find somebody in the community that is a new collector or something, right? And be like, hey, you want a bunch of stuff? You know, like just to make somebody's year lifetime. I don't know, whatever, right?
It'd be fun.
Well, I feel like that piece should be while you're alive. Like there are stuff that I'll give away, knowing like, you know, it might be monumental to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because seeing them experience something I know, like something silly might have a big effect for me, but like it's like paying it forward, reciprocating joy, getting that kind of connection to somebody you may not even know. Right.
Yeah.
And like we grew up always in like the recycle kind of thing. Like if you're gonna get stuff new, like give other stuff away, you know, and we do that with clothes and items around the house and stuff like that. And my daughter's been very good about like when she's replacing parts of her collection, she'll be like, you know, I'm not into this, that, or the other anymore. So I'm gonna give some of these to my cousins. I'll go give this to charity. I'll do whatever. Like she has such a wonderful soul and spirit about her. Like, you know, like she inspires me a lot of times in those kinds of capacities. Be like, take a step back, Deemer, and look at your daughter. Like, you know, she's from your flesh. So, you know, what happened to you, man? So,
I love that.
Actually, that's one thing. So we do. Well, I've done. She does it by proxy. For a while, and well, it kind of went on hiatus for a year or two, but like so during the pandemic, like, you know, I started doing like giveaways, like Christmas giveaways during well, it started on Reddit, and I'm not gonna spiral on Reddit. Okay, I'm not gonna spiral on Reddit. The only thing I'll say is the Transformers community on Reddit used to be really great, and then when Reddit went public, it just spiraled out of control, and now it's just a big cesspool, and I hate it. But like I did a yearly giveaway, right? Like the concept was so I had people write letters like to Santa, but like Santa was the quintessence judge, and they had to, it was basically a plea for their innocence, like in what, but also included like what their most sought after thing was or whatever, right?
Now we had a pile of stuff, so if they asked for the thing we had, then they ended up in like a drawing, so we pick. But,
cool.
But
inevitably, we would end up wandering around and be like, oh, this person asked for this, and so we just end up acquiring more stuff to like give away
because they had such a great plea. You know, we had to acquire it. That was fun. I liked that.
And so I did that for like, what we do that like 5 years, and then I think I took a year off.
We need to do a better like giveaway.
But we did one. So we did one last year, but this year I want to try and bring.
But then we learned also, you know, it's really expensive to ship stuff around the world with tariffs and everything. So we have to. You got to figure that out. You got to bring it.
It is. And I recently there was a kid on Facebook who I was sent to YOLO Park Optimus Prime, the new ones. And so I kept one in Cybertron mode and one in Earth mode. And this kid was like really upset that he was missing the pieces to the Cybertronian mode. And so I saw like, and I was just, you know, flirting through different format or, you know, forums or whatever. And this kid seemed really like heartbroken over it. And he lived in an area where it was very difficult for him to reach out to YOLO Park for them to send replacements or whatever. So I was like, hey, dude, like I have one in Earth mode. I'm not going to use the Cybertronian parts. If you want it, it's yours. And he just lit up. Like he was just like, you know, can I call you through the app or whatever? And just like, thank you. And this and that. I'm like, let's chat. And so English isn't his first language. So there was a little bit of a communication barrier, but just hearing his gratitude about it, you know, and like really just made his month, week, year kind of thing. And I was like, dude, if you really want it, just give me your personal information. I promise I won't share it anywhere, and it's yours. And it was not cheap to ship it to where he was, like at all. But you know what? Like I didn't care because he was, even throughout the process, he was like, I got the shipping, because I sent him the shipping label. I'm like, just track it, you know, make sure you get it kind of thing. Let me know. And he's like, it's reached this part or whatever. And, you know, like, and I loved that, you know, like him, like giving me the updates about it and stuff like that. And he was so like gracious when it like hit his home region, and he was like, it's going to be at my door soon and this and that. I was just like, that to me was worth whatever it was to ship it to. And, you know, like, But I think like maybe we just all get together like at the end of the year or something and be like, we're just gonna have a streamer kind of thing where we give away. We just randomly pull stuff out like from our shelves that we don't want or we're willing to give away. And whoever joins the stream or whatever, and or a cause or whatever it may be, like we'll think up of something.
I'd be all in. But so because there's actually 2 guys again from the Reddit, like this was like even from the second year, so I mean that's like what 8 years ago.
I mean we're saying Christmas
we
cards.
still send Christmas cards back and forth. Like that's the only communication we have. It's just like our Christmas cards that we send back and forth.
That's cool.
It's very funny.
And one of their kids, like they sent us a trading card that was Unicron. It is framed right next to our Unicron.
Yeah,
like
so
we
like
still
the
have
Kingdom line where they had those like cards and the figures, and so
that's cool. I love that.
No, it's so good.
But then my favorite one, and then we can move on, was there was one guy that won one of the years, but all he collected was Megatrons. And like he wrote like the most like and this was before AI, so like these were a lot of them were very clever.
Yes.
But he wrote like the most clever like plea. Oh,
did we lose you?
We
disconnected. Oh, we lost Deemer.
Yeah.
Okay, well you can.
Well, we're just gonna freeze ourselves. I'm much better at this than you.
I know I'm not very good at freezing.
I'll finish the story.
Yeah, you finish the story while he connects.
Shoot a message. Just I mean, I'm sure he knows, but like just in case like something weird happened. But yeah, like so all he collected was Megatrons, and all he wanted was Megatrons, and so like he made a very clever plea, asking just for Megatrons. And he like kind of was like, sincerely like, the guy that just collects Megatrons.
Are you there?
1 second.
Okay.
Let's see. How do I change? Where's my camera?
I can't hold still that quickly.
Okay. It's okay. But no, like I thought that was just the coolest thing, right? Is because he went in the pool for I think it was like the Netflix Megatron that we had, and that was just like one of the coolest things, right? Like he was just super appreciative. Like he sent like a picture of his table that like just had just Megatrons, and that was just pretty fun.
There you are.
Hey!
You're back.
I don't know. My screensaver went on and everything went haywire. So I apologize for
technology.
So I have some irreverent questions. We've gone like real deep here into some of the philosophical ones, and I'm just going to mess it up here real quick.
Yep.
So if a third-party company announced an official Deemer upgrade kit, what accessories would it come with?
BFGs for sure. What accessories would it come with? Upgrade kit? Definitely it would be a gap filler. So if you guys watch my love and hate relationship with Hasbro, I absolutely detest the waffling, the gaps. So yes, big fucking gap fillers is what I want. For all of those toys would be my first request. So DNA, listen up.
That's fantastic. All right. So my last one here, and this is where we're going to get real irreverent.
Don't look at me. I didn't make these questions.
If you had to get a tramp stamp that was something pop culture themed, what would you choose and why?
Oh, well.
It doesn't have to necessarily be Transformers. It could be anything in the fandoms.
Anything at all, huh? And so you're assuming I don't have a tramp stamp.
I am, but if you have a tramp stamp, you are definitely standing up and showing that off right now. So figure it out.
Oh geez. I always loved the Prince symbol. I always thought that was really cool. So I would definitely rock a Prince symbol tramp stamp. I think that would be my call to the tramp stamp world, perhaps.
I like that.
We keep so neither one of us have tattoos. And so it probably will not happen, but we continuously joke that we would get a tribal tattoo tramp stamp, but it would be with a matrix of leadership. But like
matching
matrix. Oh, I love that. So would it be like one person has one half, the other has the other? Like,
Oh, that's good.
I
I wasn't
would-
thinking that. I was thinking like something obnoxious
Just
where it
like-
would just be like that,
just
but
the
with
same
like the
tattoo twice,
tribal
but,
sort
like-
of
Oh,
like
okay.
swirly things going on.
So the problem is, if I ever got a tramp stamp, I would wear nothing but like crop top shirts. Like, I don't think you realize what you'd be getting into.
I believe that. I genuinely believe that.
I'd be like, I don't care what shape I'm in. Be like, I got a tramp stamp now, and everybody's gonna see it. So
I would love one around my belly button and have it like be the mouth of something, or you know, like, or the
Oh,
ear hole, or you
that's
know,
good.
something like that.
actually, that would be
funny.
a good like even Matrix thing too, because you could like just like
Oh
pull, like,
yeah,
stretch
just
your
pull apart
skin.
your
and, like, when you
tummy
stretch,
area and
like,
be
your-
like, and have the touch play when you do that.
I like where this is going. You know, like this is one of these things where I'm like, well, if somebody on the internet pay me enough money, I just go do it right now. Like, I got no shame. So, you know, in the form you filled out, you talked a bit about tech stuff. You're in tech, and we have not covered tech. And
I did have a tech question.
I told Sarah I wanted to figure out tech. Like, what is your tech thing? Like, what tech do you like? What are you into? Like, what is tech
So
mean?
I started out in tech very young, not willingly. So back in the 80s, when the personal computer was a item that you could acquire even though at a heavy price,
Mhm.
my dad at the time was like, you don't need toys, you need to learn what this computer thing is. I was 8, just for frame of reference. So he and my uncle, who at the time they're both physicians, and my uncle was getting into investments.
Mhm.
And so him and my dad basically was like, well, my dad wants something that's medically related, and he wanted something that he could track his portfolio and investments. And so my dad was like, well, how about he just learns what a computer is and how it works, and then we talk about like what capabilities that he can do. So I would literally like try to turn it on, break it, fix it. I would call the hotlines because I would get in serious trouble if I didn't have it fixed by the time my dad came home from work. So I'd call, and I don't know if anybody's in tech, but like back then, if you looked at the back of the book, it wasn't an 800 number, it was a 900 number you had to dial. It was like $3 for the first minute and I don't know, 99 cents for each additional minute. I'd be like, hey guys, I'm 8 years old and this computer won't turn back on after I did this. Can you help me out? And they'd be like, what? Yeah, is this a prank? Like they would think I'm a prank, you know, be like, I'm like, no, I'm like, you don't understand the kind of trouble I would get into, like nuclear level trouble. And so they'll be like, call us back on this number so you don't get charged and tell us, right? And so every level of hardware I would learn, and then like networking and like how the computer parts talk to each other and why they do and how they function. Then I got to the software level, and then I started getting into learning how to build inventories and spreadsheets, and then databasing. And so when I started getting into databasing, and then that became the thing, and that is where I started really hardcore, because I started in basic and I started in DOS and I started in all these kinds of coding that's, you know, like historic now at this point. But when I started doing really good things with databasing, people are like, we need that in our work environment. Can you tailor it to blah, blah, blah? And I'd be like, I can. What's the price? And then they tell me the price. I'm like, I absolutely can do this. And I will drop everything in life just to get this out the door to you. And that was my segue into really with my tech world. And it was just a side gig that happened to do really well. And just continue. It wasn't where my orientation was as far as what I wanted to do with life, because my life orientation at the time was I wanted to be an eye surgeon after like a period of time that I really knew what I wanted. Not like, oh, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up, which I did. But like when real world hit, it was, I definitely want to do medicine. I want to do surgery, and I want to do eye surgery specifically. And that's where my life track was up until life was lifing, and things happened in my family that was like, no, I need to make a hard choice, stay in medical school or go back and help my family out. And that's what I ended up doing. And so I went back into healthcare for a little bit because that was one of my degrees in transit. And it became so depressing and not really paying anything that I could feel I could build a future on. right? So first of all, my hat and heart and soul go out to anybody in the social work space, and especially in the mental health and behavioral health areas, because it's tough work. And the stories and people you work with is really, really emotionally heavy. So anybody that is here or knows people, show them some love because they deserve all of it. And so then I was like still doing my tech stuff on the side, and I started working for a tech company and then another one. And then when my ethics and the tech didn't align anymore to the point where I couldn't feel I could put my head on the pillow and sleep comfortably at night, is the day that I handed in my work shirt and said, I got to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the support of their client, by the way. I happened to be the highest paid person on the roster for that last company. And they gave me everything I wanted, but ethically speaking, I could no longer do what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'm out. I got to peace out. Nobody believed it, even as I was handing the shirts. And their own people that they were under contract with were like, if you bounce, we're coming with you. And
Oh, wow.
I was like, your guys' contracts are pretty like penalizing if you leave. And one of those people happened to be the law firm that the company used. They're like, Deemer, we got your back and anybody else's back who like bounces and comes to whatever it is you do. And I was like, put it in writing, lawyer, right? Because lip service isn't going to keep me out of jail, my friend. And so that's what it was. And I started my own way. And ever since 2005, that's what I've been doing. And I am very much into, I know it's a sensitive topic for a lot of people, but AI, but on an ethical level. I am a very big cheerleader for ethical AI. I have gone into fighting positions with, big pockets and stuff in regards to AI. And even like we have groups that are basically in the industry that want AI as the tool, not as the people replacement.
Mhm.
And not as just serving, deep pockets, but serving the population. And I was just talking to this. We formed a group here for Transformers, or a collectors group called the Retro Republic, and we had our first meeting the past weekend. And one of the guys that was there, we had this awesome conversation. He works for a big company as well. And so when I was telling him this, and he was like, well, like we need people like that. And I said, there are advocates. We just don't have the matching deep pockets that the $1 trillion investments are continuously being piled into. But we're there. We're speaking up for the people that want it as the tool. And one of our mandates is if you're going to be replacing people with these, what they think are tools, but they're not, they're just flat out replacements, is you need to spend the money to retrain these human beings, because it's not one person you're firing, it's a family that you're letting go, right? And these are people that need to feed other people in their family and have health care and continue to live and breathe and be, contributing members to society. When you start eliminating society and portions of society, what are you going to have, right? And not to get like down this road, but we're creating big gaps that are unnecessary. Except to serve bigger
because
pockets.
we used to be this,
right,
and now it's this.
Exactly. You're not wrong, right?
I know I'm not. It's just,
and so yes, I work in the AI and very heavy into it, but I am, hopefully I can put my head down every night because of what I do to help propagate and advocate for on the right side of history, because I know with these $1 trillion level investments, AI isn't going anywhere. So we can, though, have an impact as far as how it becomes molded for the future, right?
Yeah.
And so hopefully, there's people out there that feel the same way and not just spew out all kinds of hate towards people like me that are trying to be on the right side of our current history here.
So this is one of my favorite actually conversations right now, or topics, because so we are friends with a lot of people that like are in the artist community,
Mhm.
and
So there's very strong negative feelings.
AI feelings, right? Because there's a lot of AI usage to steal art,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
create things, right?
I mean, we've even talked to authors before where their books that
Mhm.
are published are then have been used to train AI without
Right.
their knowledge at all. And like, that's
Right.
not cool. That's
Right.
not cool that your unique artistic art has been used to train.
But I also really like technology and gadgets and new things, and so I like.
Mhm.
So I mean, I like AI as a
Mhm.
tool, kind of like you're saying, and so like
Right.
it's very interesting to see like these very split perspectives on things. And we both work in the corporate world where
Okay.
there is a huge AI push right now because in
Yes.
the corporate world, I mean, I don't know about everywhere, but I mean within our company, they're looking at it from the perspective of being able to replace people. Nobody said this, but this is my
I mean,
my
that's
observation, right? Where they think that, oh, we can train AI to do this thing, so we don't need this person. And
Right.
so I keep coming back and saying, but what you don't understand is you're trying to have AI make the thing and then AI use the thing that it makes.
And it's like that picture, that copy of a copy where it was like, do you remember that photo where it was like a lady and it was like, don't, copy this photo, but don't change anything. And she went from one version to a totally different, unrecognizable version. Like that's where we're all going
Right.
if it keeps going down that route.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, and AI is such a huge umbrella. And I think what a lot of people don't appreciate or understand is AI has been something I've been working on since I was a kid, technically speaking, right?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
coding is AI. AI has been around since the 70s, easily defined as AI, but not in the terms that we know it today.
Right, right.
And so it started out really young, and we were using it in a very let's call it immature kind of fashion, but it was always a tool until literally the hardware started catching up with the desire of where we want to go with it, right?
Mhm.
And we have brilliant coders and brilliant all kinds of tech-based people out there. But one of the biggest constraints has always been, the hardware side, right? And then
Right.
that obviously is a lot of investment.
Mhm.
And so when you have, unfortunately, people that have all the money in the world and no care for what comes after is where we are today, right?
Yeah.
Because there's ethical considerations, there's political considerations, there are sociological considerations, economic considerations. There's so many different considerations when it comes to the AI investment that they're so quick to put billions and trillions of dollars, but there is a very big environmental factor. There is a very big human factor. And that's the one thing I hope to God we never ever forget as we keep like accelerating on this path, because we can never replace that. And if we all get boxed out by a box or by a ephemeral box, there's a problem.
Well, because I mean, it's like when we've done this, and I'll make it very personal towards me, is like, my family has had our farm since 1850. It used to take the entire family to do that. Then modern agriculture happened. So I have pictures of like my grandfather and his brother using threshing machines.
Right.
Nobody does that anymore. That's not a like. There are like things where people will use old threshing machines as like a tutorial of like how life was like back in the day. But you don't need that. Like if you're just a row crop farmer, I hate to say this, nobody listening to the stream is a row crop farmer, but you can do you can do that as a part-time job. You can spend 4 weeks in the spring, you can spend 4 weeks in the fall. That's why a truck's called the 4x4, because that's all you have to work if you are a soybean and corn farmer. Like so that has completely changed. And then so much of the jobs were offshored in the 60s and 70s. Like my hometown, if you weren't working on the farm, you worked at the plant, and the plant's gone because all the jobs got sent over to, overseas. And so like, my hometown used to have significant amount, like it was a much larger population, but between not as much people needed on the farm and then coupled with the plant closing down and getting offshored, like there's not that economic opportunity. And so I mean, that same thing is coming with AI. Like if you think about the Rust Belt of America, like it's going to continue to come if we don't plan carefully.
That's very, very true. But I think we also have a little bit more time than the people want you to think, right? People are saying, oh, all our jobs are going. They're not going because the amount of money still to replace one human worker is still too great for an AI to replace that person, because AI is really still not there, right? Can we replace functions and processes and stuff like that? Yes, we are there at that level, but we still cannot replace total human beings from, a lot of jobs that still exist today. So in one respect, there's a naive rush, right? And panic that is being created
to chase quarterly profits.
Exactly. Well, no, that's a huge one. That's a huge one. And unchecked capitalism is bad. And the 6 normal forms for databases, of course, that could be a separate topic. But but the reality is we're not at that point yet. So we do have time. But the thing is to extend that time is people really need to come together. I'm talking the everyday person, and I'm talking the people that are working in this space, like people like us. We need to be more unified, and we need to be more vocal, and we need to advocate to the right people with the right pockets too.
Yeah.
And so if it is something important to anybody in this stream, then I do say, your vote does matter, right? You need to pick people that will help advocate for these things that are important. Please go vote. I'm somebody that is lackadaisical along the spectrum of voting, but every presidential vote up until the last one, I voted, but the local votes do matter a lot more lately, especially
politics is local. I would rather people pass at the presidential level, because honestly, your vote really doesn't count as much there with like the electoral college. I've always said that the electoral college only matters with the presidential vote. I'm sorry,
it's such a hard time all the time.
But you don't vote local either.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I do. This man has never voted in his entire life.
I would if there was something I felt passionate about.
Yeah, you should feel passionate about water.
I mean, I do now.
Water, air, earth, soil, like the whole, gamut, personally, because that's the immediate cost of the investments, right?
Yeah.
And so multiply that on a daily basis on a long term, and it's not a pretty picture.
No.
So, I've never felt myself as any kind of political advocate to go vote, to tell anybody to go vote. Like, that is, everybody's prerogative. But I'm telling you, if AI is important, you need to go vote, and you need to pick the right people to do that. Yeah, at the local level, most especially, 100%. So
the thing that this is just random topic conversation on part of what we're talking about, but like the thing that that I feel, so like with the company that I work for, is that I feel like they've been kind of behind the game with AI for a while, and now they're trying, because it's like they chose to not participate in it, like up until like right now, right? So now there's like this big push to like go all in, like real hard, real fast, and I legitimately think that all of like our leadership and executives believe that AI is at the point in which it can replace people. And so like I keep trying to tell everybody in the world, like, this is not how it works. Like we need it as a tool to enhance the workforce that we have.
I'll even just say it from a different lens. Like, if you think people know how to search, if you think people know how to create appropriate prompts, you're out of your mind. Most people have no idea how to search for information. The only reason they're able to successfully find it is because Google knows everything about you. It is able to infer an incredible amount about you, because it knows your shopping habits. It knows where you live. It knows how many people reside in your household. It knows if you're a dog person or a cat person. Like, it knows all of that. But then
you get in a corporate environment that doesn't have that, and you find out that basically like 98% of the people search with 3 characters. You know what I mean?
Like, that's a real statistic.
Yeah.
That's a real statistic. Not 3 letters, not 3 words, 3 characters.
So 2 letters and an asterisk.
Well, I mean, that's scary, right? I mean, Google's knowledge base on the global population, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is between 1/4 to 1/3 of all ownership as far as knowing a human being and everything about them.
It's terrible.
The other ones are split up amongst the other tech companies. And what's even worse than that is the companies we don't see and hear about, right?
Mhm.
They live in a very gray legal area,
Mhm.
the data brokers themselves, and that's where a lot of our problems come from.
Mhm.
So it's not just Google. Like we're easy to blame Google and Microsoft and all the, and Meta, whoever you want to point at. It's because those are the faces of the results that we see immediately, right?
Yeah.
But the ones that are even worse off than that are the ones we don't see.
Yeah.
And like we could spend like a whole series.
Oh yeah, like this is all very interesting to me. Like
I know.
I would listen to talk
But
about this.
I am gonna wrap it up though, because we are at we are over 2
I know.
hours here. But no, I love this. So I am going to.
If you ever want to have like a series and just chat about this, like
Buddy,
we
yeah.
we'd orchestrate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because,
Right. I'm with you.
But we're gonna do another plug here for your QR code up in the
Damn it,
corner.
bitches.
And Rob's gonna spam your direct URLs here in the chat. But for people not familiar with you and too lazy to click on all the links that we're gonna spam at them, how can they find you? How can they follow you?
Cut us off at like 2 hours.
So the easy thing for my social media is the major platforms are all at Deemer's Dominion. So make it easy for you. And yep, thank you. So it will always end with at Deemer's Dominion. So it's YouTube, it is Instagram, it is Facebook, and TikTok. Those are the platforms that I dabble in, but YouTube is by far my largest platform. And so that's where you can find me. I do have some music that I've curated with the help of some seeding from a really good friend that I went to college with and her husband. So you can find that on Apple Music and Spotify and stuff like that. And that's Patreon also, I guess, though I'm not really active on that too much yet. I think I should be, but here we are at Deemer's Dominion. So.
Good, and I like it because it's got the alliteration going, and you also do a live stream with Deluxe Baldwin on Sundays.
And Deluxe he was the one that influenced me the most as far as when I first started researching seriously if I even wanted to do something like this online and whatnot, because he's a guy that tells you how it is. He wears his heart on his sleeve. There's no filter to this gentleman. I absolutely love him to death. He is my brother. And we grew like super close the moment I reached out and said, hey, by the way, this is so-and-so, that because he used to call me out on his videos, like thanking me and stuff. I'm like, and he's like talking about like how he wants to meet me one day. And I'm like, you talking to me? Like, I just say thanks for your, you have to put in like, but so he was the one I reached out to. And the moment like I reached out, he was like, are you kidding me? Yes, of course. Like, let's do this. And that's how our live stream came to reality. And so I absolutely love Sundays because this is when we stream and get to hang out. And we text every day and talk on the phone and stuff like that. He really genuinely is more of a brother to me than my birth brother. So, absolutely.
That's
Thank
fantastic.
you.
And your stream is called Double D's, which is
it's called Double D's. So, and that's, double entendres. So Deluxe Baldwin, Deemer's Dominion. So Double D's it was. And when I proposed that idea, because he's like, what are we going to call this stream? And so he threw something. I was like, what about Double D's? Like, I don't know how my wife's going to feel about that. I'm like, don't worry. I haven't told my wife. I'm just rolling with it. So
it's perfect.
Here we are today.
I told my wife about this one and she just was a little different. So it's a little bit more risque than Double D's.
A little more than what we do. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight, and we will see you next Tuesday.
And tell your mom I said hi.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me. It's been wonderful.